Welcome back to another one of our Winterfest, Buildfest, Fest builds. And today we are working on the Merchants Guild. Now I've always wanted one of these lots, but I couldn't really think of what it would look like on the inside, like what would the purpose be, how would it serve the Sims neighborhood rather than just the kind of kingdom in my head, so to speak. And I think I came up with a pretty decent take on the Merchants Guild. Obviously, guilds in general are so varied and so vast and so time and location specific. I actually did research on this and I was just like, okay, so we were just wildin', basically. Like, they would use the term guild for a lot of different societal structures, shall we call them, and some of them had lots of like heavy religious connotations, some of them really controlled the market, some of them were more like creating and controlling markets outside of their home kind of kingdoms. Like, there was a lot. So in Edirann, this is a very respected society. This is for upper class merchants, so very well established merchants that can actually afford to pay the membership dues. And they will assist in selling product outside of the kingdom, so to other kingdoms, and then protecting members, that sort of thing. I will make them pay a fee. It's gonna work probably like a club, is my thought. So this will be their like clubhouse base. They will meet in-game probably once a season. I don't know if I will show that, but I will make sure that there are club meetings. I'm going to have to pick a leader. I'm not sure yet. Well, I don't think Butch Strickland would want to lead anything like this, but yeah, like, they help you. If you have a bunch of kids, find apprenticeships for those kids. They help your business, they help your families, they help you build connections. Like, that was what a lot of guilds did, and so that's what this guild is going to do. It is a merchant-based guild. It is going to be very heavily restricted to kind of who I see as like upper-class merchants. So merchants, again, very established families that can afford this, not just every single merchant family I have. I don't know if I'm going to restrict it to merchants within Edirann, or if this is like a chapter house of a much larger merchants guild that operates throughout the world. I really do like that concept, because it can be a way to kind of excuse the flow of things that are not necessarily native to this area. I'm thinking, of course, of the menagerie that I'm going to be building, but also the tea house and things like that. It's a way to bring those things in a plausible way. Because even though this is a fantasy world, part of my brain is still like, how would that end up here? Like, how are we getting from A to B? Where is that coming from? How is this being imported? So that is a way to do that. So I haven't fully decided on everything, but yeah, this is essentially a hangout. I built a stable in the back. They also will store some goods. It's also a place where you can have business meetings. They are going to be, going into 2025, like a powerhouse contender in terms of powerhouse power. Arndt Blumenthal's going to have a problem with them, I think, because this is a new development. This Merchants Guilds, which I'm just deciding on the fly, is a chapter house. They built a chapter house here. They had permission to do so, but now suddenly they're a new power that didn't exist before. And so they're going to have to fit into the society of Edirann. They are going to be very well respected. That's why I kind of fenced in their lot, but kept it with low fencing. So like, it's a barrier that people will respect without having to put like a high fence. It's like the fear of messing with the guild is what keeps people respecting their boundaries. I liked that idea and what that says about them. I'll probably just pick random townies to represent them, but yeah, I'm really happy to add another world-building element to Edirann. I've talked a lot about holidays, I've talked a lot about kind of really shaping up the religions I have vague ideas of, and I think also creating other forms of power besides nobility is important. And I think Arndt Blumenthal, even though he is a king, would want that, but at the same time it requires him letting go of his own power. So there'll be a kind of internal struggle for him to like allow this to exist and to lose some of that control. So I wanted this building to be kind of fancy, but not like unattainably fancy. So they do have a lot of stained glass windows, but it's also made of a simpler stone. You know, the stable isn't anything ornate. I know there's wrought iron, but it's just pretty. Up here is kind of like a storeroom area where you access it through the ladder. I love these fences, but they always show up as like blue, so then I have to click each one to determine which one it is. Slightly annoying. And this is placed firmly in between a lot of my businesses. I'm sure you can see behind is the fabric kind of stall area that is owned by the I don't even remember which family it is. One of them. I know that the character doesn't like the outdoors, so it's very fun to play that business. Because it's all outdoors. I think that's a Sims medieval recreation. It's hard to tell because I'm flipping around so fast. So yeah, I'm curious if anybody else has tried to incorporate guilds in their worlds, how you do it. I would love to hear about it because this is so new to me and it's such a common thing. But again, like, guild meant so many different things to so many different people throughout time. It's really difficult to really define it in one particular way when your world is a fantasy world, not based on any particular time period or place. Doing my best, but like, that is also a challenge. I can't really borrow almost wholesale from existing societies because I don't really follow any of them. I realized they didn't have bathrooms, so I was like, alright, I probably should make sure that there's a bathroom on this lot. And then that's like a little office setup. I thought about making it a hotel, I really did, and then I was like, I don't like that idea. Because then it could be like merchants come to this area, they stay at the chapter house kind of thing, but I'd rather it be a community lot. Because if it's a hotel, I'm probably never going to use it. I really like the stone too. I wanted to use that in my Medieval Color Legacy Challenge, but when I tried to recolor it, it just didn't look right. Which is why I had to make my own. I actually get to play that today, and it's been almost a month since I last played it, so like, that's gonna be fun. It's always interesting to jump back in after a break. I jumped back into the Princess Challenge that I'm doing, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. I forgot how to play this. I don't like it. And I got through it, but it was tough. I'm just trying to pick out flowers that look like fancy, but not too fancy. I don't know. That's a thing, right? You know what I meant. I also had an amazing haul at a Goodwill recently. Because I saw this light. I've been trying to think of lighting for my little gaming area. And I saw a light that like looked really cool, but it was just like, there's no way. And it was basically 2 fallow deer antlers hanging from the base. So not like the typical antler chandelier that you see, but there was a light bulb in the middle of them because they curve, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Of course, it was $650. I'm like, no ma'am. But like, it was in the back of my mind. I'm like, oh, that would be really cool. And I looked on Etsy to see how much people were selling just regular antlers for. Expensive is the answer to that. And I was just looking at different things and finally accepted that it probably wasn't going to happen. And then out of nowhere, we just went to Goodwill, and I hadn't gone that far down the aisle yet, and And my partner was joking, and he picked up antlers, and he was like, these would be perfect. And I was like, actually, yes, they would be. Because they're the exact, somebody, I'm guessing, made a mistake at Home Goods, and they bought the same, like 2 antlers facing the same way. So instead of one of each side, they're exact replicas. I think they're made out of resin. They might be plastic. I'm not sure. They are solid. And yeah, I'm really excited for that. So I'm gonna make a light. I do need to run some tests. I'm trying to figure out what they're made out of, because they're a little too straight for what I wanted, which is fine, but like I would prefer to curve them so I can get almost an exact replica. Like, and they're not fallow deer. They're kind of like tiny elk antlers. Like, I don't even know, but I really want to recreate that light now, because it's not that hard. You buy a light kit, and then you just decorate it essentially. Like, you're not wiring anything. I'm in a rental, so I'm not hardwiring a light in. It's just basically a light on a string. And I bought some coarse rope that I'm gonna use to kind of complete the image. Should look good. But that's a little farther down. My next big step is hanging wallpaper, and then deciding on wainscoting and trim. And then I can hang my remaining 2 shelves. I got another shelf at Goodwill that's really nice. That's gonna be a dice display. Yeah, it's so funny to me that people are like, you're just so good at finding cool stuff. I'm like, no, I just am really patient, and I go a lot. And I also, I guess I have an eye for like what will fit in a space. Like right now, the decorations I have are all kind of a very similar height. So I was like, okay, I need taller things. So like I got a taller vase, and I got this white lady statue that I don't know what it's for, but it reminded me of a Tyrion grill from Wheel of Time. And so I was like, that'll work. But like, I just happened in my head. I don't know. I just like decorating rooms, or designing rooms, if we're being fancy. Probably all the simming that I do. That said, I'm only decorating the outside of this lot. I didn't want to go too in-depth in the interior until I had a firmer idea of what it should look like, so I'm really just decorating the exterior. It's not going to be a shell lot. I do intend to play this, but for now, while I'm thinking about it, it's fine to just be decorated on the outside only. So there's like carriages and horses. I wanted it to look like, I'm gonna add a carriage in a minute, like someone was unloading their goods maybe to be shipped out. Little rabbit running, things like that. Which is kind of a hard way to decorate, since you're not sure what's on the inside, but I think I did okay. I don't know. Now I'm back to thinking about lights, which is better than thinking about playing my Devereaux family again, because I don't even remember where I was at, and it always takes me a minute to like get back in the groove. And I'm excited. I'm also thinking about making a hair mistake 2 days before Christmas Eve, when pictures will be taken and I see my whole family, so like that's fun. I bought all the bleach that I needed a while ago, but like I've been putting it off. I hurt my shoulder, things like that, and now when I really need to be making a dress for Christmas Eve, which is a simple dress, but like I need to do it today. And all I want to do is make a hair mistake instead. So like, I don't know. I'm not cutting bangs, so like I'm not having a crisis, but I have the feminine urge to fuck with my hair. And I'm so far winning against doing the thing, but who knows? Who knows what I'll do? Although it helps that my knee hurts and I don't really want to stand, so dyeing my hair is probably a bad idea when I have to stand there for like 3 hours in front of a mirror making sure I don't miss spots. I wanted to put these because it's representative, both like the guild's sigil sigil? I don't know. And Arndt Blumenthal's like approval. Is it sigil? That sounds more right than sigil. I don't know. I can spell it. I can't say it. That's the story of my life. I also don't know if that little front bit in those carriages goes invisible in like lib mode. I hope so, but I don't know. Because they're meant for posing, and that's great, but like also, I haven't tested them yet. Yeah, here's where I was finding the wagons that I wanted to use. The game wanted to flash at me too, and I was like, please don't. Please let me have this. Let me have this win, and then you can do it later. How about that? And it seemed to cooperate. I still can't believe it's gonna be 2025. Having like a slight crisis about that. I don't know why, like I haven't had that crisis in a long time, but like just for some reason, just it feels like I blinked and the entire year is gone, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't want the years to go by quickly. I am enjoying my life. I want them to go by at a normal feeling time frame. But hopefully all is well. I'm not thinking about it. I'm manifesting positivity over here. That is what we are doing. Because if I think about it, I will cry. This was flashing pink, but I knew what it looked like. It's just similar color family. It goes with that set. I was like, it'll look fine. It's barrels and rugs and stuff. I did put some Rottweilers to show like the area is guarded, because I liked that idea of like guard dogs wandering around. But we're pretty much done. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Tomorrow is the last video of this challenge. If you like this video, please give it a like. It really does help. And I'll see you in the next one.